Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Classic Conversations, where I'm joined here with Scott Schoo, who's come down from Capella. Scott, welcome to the Classic. Good to be here.
Thanks, Hannah. Yeah, great to be here, and thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Good to have you here. You've got a busy week. You've been riding the Classic, challenging. You've got sale horses. Bit on?
Yeah, no, there's a bit going on, but no, it's a pretty long week, so it's not too bad. It's all pretty spread out, and no, it makes for not sitting around drinking too much beer, I guess.
Keeps you occupied.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Scott, you've got one sale horse for yourself, and then you've got a client horse as well. What have you brought down?
So we've got a little 2-year-old gelding of our own, Kimberly and mine. He's by the Smith's really renowned siren, Geom Hard, and he's out of probably our best producing Pepto mare. She's a Pepto Spinifex Pinolina mare. He's just a little 2-year-old that we've just started, but we think quite a lot of him, and he's coming through the paces pretty nice. And then we've got another Conman mare that we're selling for Kelly Smith, lady that we've been doing a lot of work for a lot of years. She's actually, she's by a Conman and out of a mare called Alabrandy that we used to show challenging for her years ago. So pretty cool to have something, that we can put through the sale that we've ridden their mothers and know what they're like. And so it's pretty cool. And looking forward to it, really.
Best of luck with them both.
Yeah, thank you.
Scott, you're from Central Queensland. Your journey, I guess, into training and doing this full time professionally has been, not where you began. Can you tell us a bit about where making that decision into doing horses pretty full time, where that came about?
Yeah, okay. I guess I've ridden horses my whole life. I grew up on Frankfield, which is a 166,000 acre cattle property in central Queensland. I guess, we rode horses mustering all the time, and that's how we started off as kids. Probably not as much competing. We did pony club and things like that, I suppose, with Dad, and certainly made a big effort. And we used to have quite a lot of horsemanship schools and stuff at home, so it was certainly a good learning environment, I suppose. But kind of started off there, and then when I finished school, I actually went back to Frankfield and was running a horse breeding operation for Stanbroke. Well, was at the time Stanbroke Pastoral Company, and so I was in charge of sort of 95 brood mares and 5 stallions. So we used to do all the breeding, and I used to handle all the yearlings and do a bit of breaking in and stuff. So I guess that was a great experience for me to get a lot of horse numbers underneath me, and I think they taught me a lot about what I know, and it's sort of started out there, I guess, and then in the process of all that, AMP sold Stanbroke, and then so we had to make some changes, and I sort of went away for a few years and worked on some Droughtmaster studs and things. And then I came back. John Burnett actually bought Frankfield, and he bought a lot of the horses and that were sort of with the place when he bought the property. And I sort of knew the horses pretty well, and I knew the place, and he offered me a job back there running the camp, and so I went back there because I knew the place well, and we sort of started out doing that, and then I sort of stepped away from that a little bit, and because I was pretty keen and interested in the horses, and stepped into training and getting horses prepared for sales for them, and I did that for a few years, and then I guess after that I met my now wife, Kimberly, and she was starting to be a school teacher at the time, and then then we moved down to I decided to leave there and have a bit of a go at training for myself, so we moved down to Capella, and I guess the rest is history, really.
It's a great story, Scott, and it's a real testament to the business you've built, because you've got some clients that are really long-standing. What's it like to try and, you've built some relationships with some pretty great people over time, but and they're long-standing, that they're lasting relationships that obviously pretty special.
Oh yeah, no. Look, I mean, I guess we consider them clients, but I guess a lot of them are great friends as well, and I think it's just about being honest about what you do, and if you're always straight down the middle and upfront with what you do, and I think in this game people like that, a bit of honesty and integrity, and we just kind of go about our business quietly and do the best we can, and that's pretty much.
No,
but some great people that we work for, and we're very fortunate.
Absolutely, and both ways, I'm sure, Scott. Looking at your horses that you've brought down here, what goes into, I guess, preparing your horses to come down to Tamworth every year? Have you got a specific program or any, I guess, specifics that you like to put into your horses in preparation for this event?
Yeah, I guess probably Tamworth for us is always a difficult time of year to prepare horses. Central Queensland's pretty hot this time of year, and this year especially it's been quite wet, and I think we had 150 mil of rain sort of week and a half before we came down for the classic, and missed a bit of riding for a few
Bit of a
days, and
handbrake.
made it a little bit difficult. So I mean, it's a difficult time of year definitely with that, but I think the main thing is just keeping a bit of variety into them, and I'm sort of a big believer in that in general that horses need a bit of a job description, and so I guess our horses go to work mustering. We use them. We have a couple of properties up there that we get around mustering and stuff. So we muster on them. We work the mechanical cow. We work the bison on them. A bit of dry work, a bit of everything. But I think just keeping them happy and keeping their mind good's the biggest thing, and just having them fit and fed well and prepared well and looking nice. And I guess that's all just a bit of a package, really. Yeah.
You make it sound simple, but there's a lot of ingredients there.
Oh, it's definitely not simple.
No. Scott, it's a big week here at the Classic. Have you got any tips? What keeps you going for 10 days?
Oh, geez, I don't know. A bit of coffee and a yarn to my kids on the phone every now and again probably is probably what keeps me going. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
A few
no.
baroccas.
Yeah, occasionally.
Scott, thank you so much for coming. We wish you all the best for your 2 sale horses that you're putting through, and look forward to catching up throughout the week. Thanks so much for coming down here.
No worries, Hannah. Thanks for having me.